Senator Lazarus.
Thank you, Mr Acting Deputy President. I believe in climate change, and I believe that if the world does not act to change our ways, we will continue to expedite our progress of evolution to extinction. And to quote David Suzuki, if we want to address global warming, along with the other environmental problems associated with our continued rush to burn our precious fossil fuels as quickly as possible, we must learn to use our resources more wisely, kick our addiction and quickly start turning to sources of energy that have fewer negative impacts. David is just one of many internationally revered and renowned environmental champions who is committed to raising awareness of climate change and the need for the world to act before it's too late. And these global champions are not alone. Countries across the world are actively putting programs in place to increase adoption of renewable energy. The role of the federal government is to manage our country in the most responsible, ethical and diligent way possible. In doing this, the people of Australia expect the federal government to demonstrate leadership, which is incorruptible, fair, forward-thinking and, importantly, in the best interests of all for today and our future tomorrow. Sadly, we have witnessed poor leadership from the Abbott government in relation to many issues, including our country's commitment to the management of renewable energy. Evidence, scientific research and general understanding tells us that climate change is real and that the burning of fossil fuel is a major contributor to this. We know that the only way forward is to transition from burning fossil fuel to cleaner, greener energy. In fact, the G7 has just announced their commitment to completely eliminate the use of fossil fuel by the year 2100. Australia currently has a renewable energy target of 41,000 gigawatts. The RET is a critical tool in providing the infrastructure and targeted necessary to facilitate and enable the uptake of renewable energy across this country. Australia's RET is in step with the rest of the world, and as I've already said, countries across the world are adopting clear, progressive and well-defined renewable energy targets. They are doing this to encourage, facilitate and support investment and in the adoption of renewable energy. Since the Abbott government has come to power, they have done nothing but criticise, demonise the renewable energy target and the renewable energy sector. In fact, the Abbott government's reluctance to commit to the RET of 41,000 has eroded confidence in the sector, which has in turn caused a significant and sharp downturn of investment in the renewable energy sector. I can only assume that political donations being made by rich multinational mining companies to the pockets of the coalition is affecting the federal government's decision-making and policy decisions around renewable energy. Is this the type of leadership we need in this country? Well, I say no. Thankfully, some states and territories across Australia are doing the right thing in relation to renewable energy. The Government of Queensland has committed to a renewable energy target of 50% by 2030. The ACT Government has put in place a renewable energy target of 90% by 2020. The South Australian Government has put in place a renewable energy target of 33% by 2020. Despite this, the federal government has not only demonstrated poor leadership on renewable energy, they have now jumped into bed with the Labor Party and agreed to reduce Australia's renewable energy target from 41,000 gigawatts to 33,000 gigawatts. I cannot and will not be part of this dirty deal that reduces Australia's renewable energy target and our country's commitment to the renewable energy sector. If the Abbott government and the opposition are successful in reducing Australia's renewable energy target, Australia will become the first country in the world to reduce a RET. I cannot and will not be a part of this despicable act. For the sake of my children and all Australians and our country's future, and role as an international citizen in progressing the best interests of the world, I want to do whatever I can to stop the dirty deal from taking place. That is why I've developed several amendments to this bill to maintain the RED at 41,000 gigawatts and to commit 8,000 gigawatts of the 41,000 to large-scale solar. Australia is one of the biggest adopters of solar power across the world. We need to do more in this country to support the solar power industry, to support solar power users and to reduce the costs associated with renewable energy. Maintaining our commitment to the RET and the renewable energy sector will achieve this by encouraging investment and innovation. We also need to develop a national feed-in tariff rate for all users of rooftop solar to provide the people of Australia with certainty and consistency in relation to the benefits arising from solar power technology. I believe I have the support of all Australians in my desire to stop a reduction in the RET and to encourage investment in the renewable energy sector. Our future is too important. I should also add that the Abbott government is also seeking to include the burning of native forest wood in the RET. I have serious concerns regarding this, and as a result I will also be putting forward amendments to address these concerns in this bill. In summary, I do not want Australia to become the first country in the world to reduce a RET, and I do not want unfettered cutting down of native forest timber to be included in the RET. I am standing up for all Australians, and I hope the Senate will support me by voting for my amendments. If the Abbott government had have taken a responsible approach to the management of the RET from day one, showed strong leadership and pulled up its sleeves to assist and support our country to reach the 41,000 target by 2020, we wouldn't be in this mess we are in today. Sadly, the Abbott government's deplorable approach to renewable energy has sent our country backwards, hurting investment, our international reputation, local jobs and local businesses. We now have much to do to restore confidence in the renewable energy sector and to put our country back on the right path to cleaner, greener, more responsible renewable energy. Supporting my amendments will assist in this process. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Lazarus.